ne fa kase na ebraso se ye de bra kenkan for ye me ohene banya akomene
Mame ajwa ahenkra kechi
wakase mo ensam dia ewo mu bi ene se omampani John Dramani Mahama ene wakasa ewo United Nations General Assembly 80th or say adenti na wiase nyina yama amai makomako enumpe semo de mu otumi a muka obi nka bi
Sanso ana ubenya ntiye se oswafo wo hye enwomasua ho nsem so e de ato dwose school placement system no emu eye krogin
na ena griko wo so ne central for yenhyiamu no wo kire se ene galamsefo ena eji wonum nsase wo se wonum atena hodo transmitters obekona hye galamsefo wo mu didi base wo mu hu o ma no mututu atu odigu om so
small scale miners and so ena ekasa ekira ban mu mpanyimfo se wo monhye na galamse kuno o manfa anya amanyosem
ewa manone ensem monso Palestinian mampani Ura Mahmoud Abbas wo kire se enyade an manfo ekrado se Gaza Israel so wogin obesori ene asori kina wonom ayekrado se wobetena se na wasim konwa no waka asomdwensem
ensem bi eka we ho ena anwumre yatena se a yade esom se no num mpai mu kase e wo Pent Radio 100.1
ye fancy PSC na Emma ohine respices na afin so ohine no dairy pardon max won madam waso ya sensika fam ama yenso enya hode atena se ekenkan dia ma o se ke okay ene eda kwasi brefi na ne anwumre wonum eti technical room hono ma wo stream na live e wo Facebook ede Emma yen ye dane hotia wa ne age abofo nkratwa de kase ni chire mo beto aso enche
Midofo a minu hu agro na say die waduane ne da no ayesronko
anio mira ohinere spices abefi aduane de ayesronko ohinere chicken seasoning se wo toto wo chi ana wo ye akokọ nam ho bibia fakakra som
froye no
ohinere stew seasoning no be manageta
jollof no
ohinere jollof seasoning ma no hwam ni odew mu odew
fried rice no kra die
ohinere fried rice seasoning e ma me fredwa frede aponchin kakra no me de ohinere go seasoning na ye asam no ne se mira ohinere seasoning powder ya woni beef shrimp noodles any de keke eka ho amunsu ede aduane ne hwam ne de no ubedi adibio enti obapa ohinere spices abama yen aduane no aye de efrise ne die ne nso aye de
ohinere spices e de ye
e wo dwa hodro mu eto phone for 020-780-5398 and 0244-525908 FDA agi edwedien kratoi atum
yada ohine yase afa yemowra mu ne yemfa ensem no nkyire mu sade etia ne yemfa emra ene ne nansa United Nations General Assembly no ehase we de toso aduowotwe ewo New York na ena omampani John Dramani Mahama ogina paso a wakasa na ne nkasa mu no woche se ewiase nyina mu pom mamonti ase se dache eye abibiman dachi biya eye abibiman esanse mo ankasa mo hwemu amana ba bededwa ese ehwie be entonkosi afempinu ene adunum 2050 na wiase nipa nyina emu ohomchichemu aduonu enum na chese uchemu nan ya baako ewo abibrem anasa abibrem esase eso nanso yakase yemra United Nations amanya won mo tumi a woka obi enka bia abiban bi ni hono ma yame tumi ame ababetena Security Council yusubi eba ne sentia mobeka ya ebeye se emfie aduonu eni 1995 ena Ura Nelson Mandela wogina haya paso ekasa ese United Nations akasa wose mutimi ehwe na monhyehyɛ no mama mra modane ani esanse samosi amaye nyina ye pa ene wose mutimi ehwe na modane eniama bi ani ye esanse ase ye nyina ye nyepe so ba akofo timi tam tumi ema ne ka decide anase wo hye de enkoso ewo obi man so wo bra wo no ne hunim na sabi wono ne ye die nti obetimi aka bi ade ati aman bi a ene na eniama bi entwa ye omampani Mahama ewo United Nations ene
According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Additionally, by 2050, to be huge and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. The UN Founding Charter is outdated when it comes to representation in this August Assembly. A continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council. Furthermore, we believe that veto power should not be restricted to only 5 nations, nor should it be absolute. There must be a mechanism in this House for the General Assembly to challenge a veto. No single nation should be able to exercise an absolute veto to serve its own interests in a dispute. In 1995, during the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, Nelson Mandela stood in this very spot, and he said, the United Nations has to reassess its role, redefine its profile, and reshape its structures. It should truly reflect the diversity of our universe and ensure equity among the nations in the exercise of power within the system of international relations in general and the Security Council in particular.
Owie no say abusuafo a mohia mu ha sei e wo se munyina moma ne yem asem hia na eyem aniwu se almighty se Palestinian eyeba a United Nations General Assembly a ya ma woni na chitafo na se ne manfo visa se wonom emra bi wono ene ne delegate ya ma obi a visa free afia pema henkron ene aduokron enwotwe 1998 ene o my Ghana ye gitu mu ese Palestina eye o man a wonom ene Israel wonom eche asase no eye Jerusalem ye wo east and fancy ye wo west. Dia na asesa ena de ekoso ewo Gaza ayese obi ayi nani ase yehu de ekoso no moma ne nyam asem hia se e ka se Gaza yehu se Palestina eye oman a wonma de won ho a enye se ye beka anase eba be yemfaso de ama oman Palestine ne mom ebe mfaso de ama mofra ema ene enyanka won ho ka dwamu ewo Gaza adenti ne yehie mu ha no mampani Mahmoud Abbas ya mano visa se womra bi esan se oman bi owotumi e woka obi enka bi ese ohunu so your mighty wono ya manifesta ni bia e wose nyina e man no eye yasem hia.
The denial of visas to President Abbas and the Palestinian delegation sets a bad precedent and should be deeply worrying to all member nations of the United Nations. Ghana recognized the state of Palestine in 1988 and supported a 2-state solution to the conflict since then. And I say, contrary to the claims of some, a 2-state solution would not be a reward for Hamas. It would rather be a reprieve for the hundreds of thousands of innocent women and children and people who are facing collective punishment and forced starvation for no reason other than the fact that they are Palestinian. For nearly 2 years and for the fear of reprisals, we here in this General Assembly have been playing hide and seek with language to find the right words to help us avoid or excuse what we all know is taking place in Gaza. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck and quacks like a duck, well, then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop.
Yo, when you are no and here come was some hand more dom come home na shebi jafie eye ononyam for some abu jina poche se o mampani ba na amanone nsem a won hwe se de obesi aka ne yesan se Ghana abrebie ye jina fifini waboso wo say Ghana yehu se Palestine eye oman a wote won ho
yetuo ensem no so ewo enwomasuamu nsem na wasofo wo hye enwomasuamu nsem so eye onimonyamfo Harry na Idrisu washe awofo ene Ghanafo nyina ebo se afi 2025 BEC a enkwada no etro ye no placement system no kuluru bia ankoso wom de ekoso bia no eye frenchem ane krogen wase wo manfo bi kasa efa woni titru ene awofo bia wo momma enye suku anko na ene woni ensem trofo etwetwe enkomo no ena wo kire se de placement no eya ne
Let me assure you that placement of persons who pass in the BEC exams is ongoing. The Director General sitting here have no access. I have no access. Deputy Minister have no access. No Deputy Director General have access. In order to guarantee the meritorious application of it. But sometimes there are other persons who may want to abuse it, and we'll deal with them as and when we find culprits. For instance, I would not accept a student with aggregate 37 going into a category A school. What would be your justification for that? If you hear that a student with aggregate 35 or 37 is placed in a category A school, does he belong there meritoriously? That is questionable. And this matter of day schools and boarding schools, the Director General and myself met with the leadership of CHAS. We've asked them to give us a list where necessary.
Na enwachi ana oswafo ede kamu biam se ade bia eya edeno eya na bonnwoma etai hom enti ye wo eniema baako mienu bia anhyeda ankoyie na se betimi etu saade na se a ewo se aban ede sika pa emu oduro ehye enwumasua emu.
To all this, it just says that government needs to invest more to expand infrastructure. If Achimota got 2 additional dormitory blocks and 2 additional state-of-the-art classrooms, it will double its intake, just as Wesley Girls or Yas and 12, Tamasco or Pana or any other, Adisada or any other school. But the question is, have we invested in them? We have not. So don't expect that all of a sudden we'll be able to place people adequately. The number of persons who wrote the exams and passed far more exceeds the opportunities available. But we have done well. At least for the first time, we've expanded the remit to private senior high schools, and many of the students would be placed.
Adisha eni ayeti ye eye onumonyamfo Harina Idrisu waye oswafo a wo hye enwomasua ho nsem so.
Na ene yekopiemo ewo tema eye Ghana Grid Company ayetwa ntiafro ne Grid Co. One Iron Central for Muna Acting Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Engineering and Operations, Ayura Frank Ochre. Was it say Sadia Galamse, ACIG, Hinina Agent Rehano. Galamse for me to Galamse ni be at 1 money si 1 man casa a year Greco for 1 transmitters transmission infrastructure na eso and what do we need AC. Just say 1 more to ma baby and Kenny 1 more to bag Greco as 1 more to drone and 1 more transmission or 1 more and 1 more drew. No I say so 1 more say 1 more cock upon most uncle for say 1 so air to 2 at Gum so I was we a someone no custom any nyai a was sempre for 80 me etu ho anamo.
It's near disaster because as we talked about the line right of way, you need to clear it so that when you need to do maintenance on the line you can go there. Now the right of way clearing becomes lucrative to Galamseers, and in a number of areas our people go and see that overnight people come and do their activities very close to our towers. Now the towers, you see them as just steel members, but they are carrying a lot of forces. And so the foundation is really calculated. In fact, they do a lot of studies on the ground to design. Every tower foundation is different, depending on where it is. And I'm sure these Galamseers don't know, but as you approach close to the lines, we are coming to the point where, in fact, there are some towers that we have had to rush in to do some intermediary reinforcement. Unfortunately, there are some areas that even when our maintenance teams are closed, they get shorter, and some of them have had to run. And so we are trying to see leverage and get engaged, because in those areas it's getting to points where people alone cannot. So we need support from all the forces.
Na we Ora Frank Ochre wano ene acting deputy chief executive officer engineering and operations at Ghana Grid Company Grid Co. Ora Frank Ochre na nudi semne yeti no.
Yaguswa ewo Galamse mo ensemo na chotrofo edema small scale miners ena ejina ekuo nenemu ede eto aban ene mpanyifo nyina enim se wo monhwe ena galamsey no asetuo no wo manfa amanyosem ama meforiforim ensem we betu odwa wabra aban declare say baby ayetu galamsey no se the security zone ena wo mo ebeye no anase wo mo bepa ho ntoma na wa wunim na abekwa akowura ho no ibi ya wodi a na nenye obi na kumantwi bo se akona di neti age akyerema eno mo kase wo mo sra ban se aban mu mpanyimfo ene amanyofo nyina enka wo mo humom na wo mo mpe asam no ne pomasi bre de wo mo beye a ebetimi atwato kra na enkoba se ene ye koye eto otwa na afi no kina bi no asan ama no homene so
Senior First Minister no consular family. Yen IS no people, the really why a man concession to Uncle Eduma, double fire, and I say a man concession say Uncle Eduma, your man say, woman here, yeah, and to be up from United now for the minerals and mining act. This is how you need to enforce the cost, and say, and the many panels also, I Jumana, the Bio Jumana. Ye nephew. Now the Ayama the Tata or you, which is so the I think previous government is this two main political parties since we came to the fourth republic. Ultimately, politics will have waiting in the kind of 2017. Then MPP government ban. Obviously, previous government ban or the ban the two most cases. 2 years meanwhile, not people are still working in the forest. The water they were doing ready. And my tax was in the 6 months they in the board. As I said, the two political parties will say we cannot play politics. Wait the situation are in. One bed I can't boom. The gun say a bit to me amagan
na enuachi ena Ora Godwin ama ede ka ho biam sa aban no enhye na wonfa asrafo enko biaye a wo mutu galamsey ne nemom so wade asrafo ne ba wo madwumadi a wo mu ebedi wo ho no so wonhwe se wo nyi nani emfiri ne mu ambra no ne abra no obema woni edi wonachi na enuachi no ene wosan edi tudwa se wo hwe galamsey a edi wo haw ne amane bebre ena ebre omanfo entiano so no aban ema nani enko ho.
Not making sure that the implementation of most of the policies, to me, then making sure that a bedroom phobia, a bematio, man see too. It's so busy radio, so also they can say, they say, yes, cyanide, yes, but we should have proper data and the science to back some of the things. Is it only mining, air forcing, autism, air and other chemicals that we are using, or what? It may be mining, it may not. But Obi Jata, or Belkan in album, and the say a vection may be a problem emotions in the beginning of say mining but some of these control issues are there. We can't say mining cannot cause it. Mining can cause it. But what we are saying are they conclusive enough? So we should put money and have all the institutions that everyone but I thought the beer, you have to be to say, better opera, they are going to make the good region.
Anyway, Ora Godwin, ama oyetuatro for Emma small scale miners.
Also for no na hwe empomuden awon samso no nyamfo kwabena minta akando ede atudwa na nsem a wo gane nyina ene se wo se samre ba bia Ghana yadru no yempomuden ho nsem no yeyi ani ede free amanone anase emwa eje ho sede a aban etwa mu ba ye wo se Ghana beyond aid no se Ghana health beyond aid eni se yema ya hoto so anase yede ye ho kokoto amanfo anase aman binum eso se wo mo ena emfa emwa emra ansana yede asa ho yare anase yempomuden ho nsem no atime agina ne nan so obehwe afi yesi mu a America man pani Donald Trump yede ni si akonwa so no wo kire se US aid ana no eye emwa hodo enuro hnuane yeka ho ne yede kwa aman binum eso titiro abibrem na ebiba no oso watwam kra no wa suspend dia ebesi na no onyi sa tabo no femfiri so enti ebi ema biem aman dodo na na ebre na no na osoafo a wo hwe yempo de wonsam so e kire se e wose etimi yeni edi free eye amanone anase amaya kese wonum eso se wode emwa beba ne mo yankasa yetimi adwen na yepre ne hu ba bia yede yempo mu de ho nsam no yede befa ne yede sika nkasa ewrem
adehye yeto ano no mpai mu kase no so na yede amamo se ukwo tentan fidie no so a social media eniema bi ekoso ewo ho a ensem fata asuafo na anoa da omutwro wasi ensohwe no eni obehu no omafa camera no omde asi wo mo so na trend bia de ba yesi efene scatter them eni obeti wase scatter them na nkomo omudi na chi na je so na wakase mo amaware no mukunu no we go snatch them ni nyina eye eniema ekoso ewo ho ena wonum so amaware wo social media no so atutu bia ma ne enkwada no na eno na nam so ama cyber security authority for aba abeka sesa ne ye na ekoso ewo social media no nukure ni nyame anim enkoye kra enkwada nketua yehu ye nka mobonwa na mmom achechede na sesi ampo a mo wie suku mpo ne nsama kese a mo kekan na ne mbaba betina fie di afi ne emfie mienu ene de mbo ka de eche nkuroi wo mo si social media eye adesua ene ekosua wo ho na mmom ye nkwaye ne mabone enti wo mo a wo mo ye sa na ye ne nyina no ommo moden se ombeche wo mo ho e de afiri ho
ene a word to a wise is in the north enti no wohwe nwuma wo mo eto ne ensem ebi ka se de bi mo roro mo ho ensem na ikra na yankasa yesuro untimi mo ewo mfide yi so se de adwo betimi ya na wa boroboro so a kire no se yesi ye bone na adehye ene ye editorial policy ni bi emfa kra enti no mo hwem ho yi ade a wo de to ntentafide no so no ebetimi ada ho a emfi bebre o ma beba beto na wei Mame fa ento aso na yemfiri hono na yemmungra mu enko adanse akrofro man Garba Mohammed ono district chief executive ewo adanse wasere nananom ese uba ya adanse wono mu a wasrada momomodin a se ensase a ye de beyem puntu dwuma de mu betimi aye ho adwuma na mu ajamu ede ama empanifo na afen so aban no na waye so adwuma wode nsem tidwa ebra wo bo anan ekopie mu ewo nananom ena so a wone wonom ekokotwetwe enkomo
says Adansia Krufuma 11 electoral area 3.5 On Pent so na dia canon so Krufum enti say anyone young te papa ebema yimpuntuo nyina no aka akire bo bibia ebe no nananom na asabio asase ye modia aban ni asase aban be sere film ho na wode ato ano say ye hwe ni yie no ema no na de ye bia nso no ye de mo nso makoma ebe tom de mo be se ye say yenye no eno na yeso ye de be kọ aban ho nya kọ ka akire aban no se we nananom a omo wo ha no omo so omu bia we yenye
na eno echi ena oba hema wono ewo akrokari na nase wa brua wode to DC anim se wasere DC wabai wonso hwei na dwumadie bia DC ya odi kan eba ya wo hya ase na nso wantimi anwie no wobetimi ato aso na wawie ni nyina afefefe sede be ya ade papa na eba ebeba ede amakro ni nyina sanse enye ni papa ako
no chichi be ni pa sede be ya umbehwe na ho nsasesem ne ho no ma die se wo ncho wo makro odi ama zema na oba die koso bi ka che mom school sam ni ade nyina oba be ka che me na oba mesma piano masomo na sede osi ebe ye no be gina nkola school be ya be ya na mesoso me na agire ho na otu sa na nti wo be pese ni nyina obedi mu dwuma
na eno eye oba hema wono ewo akrokari ne ena yete no
Yamfa kase no enkonko piemo ewo chufu mampon ewo emfimfini mantem no emu na arahusam a efiri ho eba ene se galamse amena akasa ema sesi ade mpanyimfo susu se enipa miensa ena eti nananom ewo ensiedo na mensi na ban krachia owo ho eye onimonyamfo Isaac Yosen wono ena ekire nsenimu a woche se wono omukọ biaye yetu galamse no mukọ hwa anajo na womoye enipa enso enan de nyame adom womanya omuti adidim na miensa aka no ena fofie antoata
ahomachi boba ya no na ekobo no num ena minya ne ti ese China for amune bia be efie be enum omo ba ekura ye fentufu bampon ai wo me peso aso ebe tu ya China for anhwe ahata so a sa amuna no adahwa be efie enum nie na emebunu no endra najo a abo anajo be nundu ekobo duba akono makọ na o man hene ho enikro ekọ mpo na se edusa ukuda brena obia nkoho enkoye adwuma emrantie ewie omo ho endra najo omo ye mako enson na omo ko se omo koye adwuma omo anka omo busuafo adwuma ne yoyi mu no enam se omo twa pet na isia totoma se bi mu ayembrent emrantie mako miensa omo ka enan no ho omo ye adwuma no pet ne buye ema emu enan de omo ye omo ho didiye emu miensa na enam se ade asenti omo ahu no amuna no ebu eku omo eye chiwa ana pemi akasa makoho mi gina ho ene ye nyina ya bua ya police commander police for nadmo other officers within my district ye nyina ya bua ye the excavator call ya bua ma emu nipa mi sana e kaye no ye yi omu nyina na ba ko de na nka wo dwane ba ta de ne bo no nti one de na otetani ene yetumi yi ne ntem ba mienu na kaye ne de omu kwhye asase na se e ma ne ameno ka se amanfo aboa so na meka police for ne mpanifo aboa ma ye yi ta nipa mienu na amuna no ene na tie no e ta omo so no e ma police for e de omu ko twufura so mo twa ameno ka
Onmanyamfo Isaac Yosen eye mensi aban krache wo twufu atimokwa
Hareshe ma yemfa fisam ni ensi hai na yemonwura mu nko amanane ensemo ena Palestinian oman no so mampanura Mahmoud Abbas wono so ene video call ene oye ya wode nanudisem atudwa e United Nations General Assembly ebra oman US ama ne visa ama one ne manfo ama bie no na eno no woche say wono ene ne manfo no ma Gaza enya de a wonom edwane akoba woni ba bia akọ wonom ma ye krado ese enkonwasie bi e wose wonom ene mpanifo Israel mpanifo esie na yie eto yie no wonom ebesi na se yese ye pam womo na Israel agesa asasna be ne de wonom kase wa ye krado so obeja mu pa de a ene na mampani Mahmoud Abbas ekire se dabi.
The number of UN member states who recognize the state
Arisha ya dekasia no ebesia nanka ye pepape neneni bi na ya bo akyerɛw entimi afama ye sofa kyeyen ye bran ayebe entia ha na ye dekasia ni nyina ye de beba bewie na kasia ni mu ensem no dia edi emu akotini bi ene se Omampani John Dramani Mahama ese ayeye wo hwe wiase nyina wiase na daache ejina abibiman eso enti adenti na United Nations ese aman bia ewo ede ne ho nanso ewiase aman maku numpe ene atabri vito power de ahye omonsam yesa ene abibiman ni niye
Onmanyamfo hare na Idrisu enso akasa fimpino ene aduonunum BEC ya enkwada no etro ye no school placement system no na emuja ho frenchim
Greek of why se sede galamsefo edidi ko onmo sasim no transmission ehuma
na wa galamse nsem na mu small scale miners nso say aban enhye na galamse asituo no omo amfanye amanyosem
na ensem bi no ka ho no yetena se na nwumre edebra se no num enefa kase enase enkoma ohenere spices ena fe so ohene no dairy pardon me kono madama ena yetena se enya hode edekase ne ebreo edakwasi brafie oni se kiwoki wono metena technical room hono mo ena streaming ni nyina live on Facebook and YouTube ede emaye akenkanfo na eyeme ohene benya komene
mame adwoa ahenkra kachiri
yade wisi anyame admo o kira no pa obesan ate yenka biem me dane me ho me ba me den kai boda ya pono so yade bebro